Next up, at UFC Vegas 63, we have Phil Hawes taking on Roman Dolidze. This is one of the most interesting fights on this card.
Polarizing, too.
I'm actually very excited for this fight. Phil Hawes is 12-3 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that win over Duran win. Roman Dolidze is 10-1 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. And he's coming off that win over Kyle Dawkins. Listen, Phil Hawes, ridiculously good wrestler. We know that. D1, very accomplished wrestler. He also is a technical striker and has power in his hands, but he has no chin. Roman Dolidze, world champion grappler, world level grappler, not wrestler, grappler, jiu-jitsu. He does have power in his hands. He's not very technical striker, but he will come forward, throw bombs, very real power. He's a tough guy. He's a strong guy. He's a gritty guy. Both of these men are very, very good fighters. I like Phil Hawes to win this fight. I think Phil Hawes is I'm positive Phil Hawes is going to be the better athlete. So he's going to be faster. He'll probably be stronger. He's going to be the more technically sound striker, and he's the more well-rounded fighter. But his chin is an issue. And Roman Dolidze has no problem coming in, just throwing haymakers and seeing what lands and what doesn't land. And I know we're going to say, oh, wrestler versus world level jiu-jitsu. Roman Dolidze has phenomenal jiu-jitsu on top. If Phil Hawes takes him down, Roman's not throwing up a triangle and armbar and getting a finish. That's just not going to happen. So I do like Phil Hawes here. I'm pretty confident in him. I actually don't like this fight because I like both of these men and I want them both to do well on their own. I don't like that they're doing this matchup. But and also you see Roman Dolidze is 10-1. He's 11-0. That was a very... I saw people trashing him. Oh, this guy lost to Trevin Giles. You obviously didn't watch the fight because he did not lose to Trevin Giles. He beat Trevin Giles.
He is Trevin Giles was my lock of the week that week, and I got by the skin of my teeth on that one. Yeah, Roman Dolidze is definitely an undefeated fighter, and as you mentioned, tough as hell. And the thing about Roman too is he's not afraid to be boring. I know in the striking he does throw some wild stuff, but in that fight versus Staropoli, he couldn't get Staropoli down, but he literally just held him against the fence for literally like 15 straight minutes just to get the win and get out of there. And I think that if he wants to win this fight versus Phil Hawes, I think he needs to do the same thing because he is not going to be the better striker versus Phil. I think Phil is the much better striker, especially more technical striker. I don't know if he's got just as much power, but I think the power is a little bit more neutralized, and he comes straight down the pipe. I mean, he's got a really, really sharp jab. And comes down the pipe with shots. I think he could really bust up the face of Roman and wear him out early because Roman doesn't, he's hands low. He's doing wild stuff. He looks for weird, wild takedowns. The issue in this fight for Phil Hawes is if he does try to offensive wrestle, because he is a wrestler, he's a very good wrestler, he is the better wrestler of the two. I think he needs to stay away from the wrestling, control the range, just keep him a distance, do your striking thing. You're going to be the much better striker, beat him up, and then maybe worry about the wrestling later, because you saw in that Kyle Dawkins fight that he got easy takedowns. He wanted to wrestle Kyle Dawkins. He wanted to prove that he was the better whatever that matchup. And he got early takedowns and got him easily. But there was a couple times where Kyle Dawkins off the bottom was able to sweep and get to advantageous positions. Either, I think he was in full mount at one point, was threatening submissions, maybe took his back in the first round. If you take down Roman, there is a chance that he can win a scramble, win a sweep, and then all of a sudden you're in a bad position. You do not want Roman Dolidze on your back, on top, anywhere near those type of positions. So if you're Phil Hawes, keep it standing. Play your game. You're going to be the better fighter. I think that Phil Hawes is definitely the overall better fighter. It's not even close. And I'm kind of a Phil Hawes hater because I picked Chris Curtis. I'd say he was going to get knocked out, blah, blah, blah. But in this matchup, I know that Roman Dolidze is a trendy pick. I think it's going to take a Hail Mary. Either a Hail Mary, as you mentioned, one of those big overhand rights, which Phil Hawes has been knocked out before, or a Hail Mary, win a scramble and find a weird submission or something like that. And I'm not saying it can't happen, but I think the chances are pretty low in this fight. I like Roman Dolidze. I think Phil Hawes is the much better fighter and should control this fight anywhere it goes. So I'm Phil Hawes kind of all the way.
No, we completely agree. Couple comments here. OK said, people think Hawes is good after he beat Win, LMFA. First of all, he looked very good in that fight. Very good. His striking was insane in that fight. Second of all, he was touching up Chris Curtis in that fight. Yeah, I get it. He got knocked out. That's why we said he's chinny. But he was out technical striking who's supposed to be this phenomenal boxer in Chris Curtis. So that's just Just a trash comment, by the way. And then another comment.
Absolute dumbass, you stupid
Completely
asshole.
agree. Here's another one. Fly, a genuine dumbass. You were wrong about Jan and TJ, so I don't believe all your bets. First of all, Jan won that fight.
Jan won the fight.
You absolute clown.
You
and
absolute
TJ,
asshole. Come over here and suck my...
Okay. And TJ wasn't... The dude had one arm and nobody knew.
Literally fought with one arm. How are we
The
supposed to
people
know?
who complain... I got so many complaints. How could you pick Jan? How could I pick Jan? He won the fight.
Well, I got the
How
same thing too.
Jan?
I can't believe you picked
own
TJ.
judges.
It's like, yeah, if I knew that TJ was fighting with one fucking arm, I wouldn't have picked him.
Yeah, nobody knew. I know. People... Whatever. The problem with people like that, and I am grouping you in that category, Fly, whatever the hell your dumbass name is. The problem with people like that is you just want to copy paste. You just want a list, copy paste, and then you think you'll get rich. That's not how this works. It is a long game. Jacob's Lock of the Week is a perfect example. If you bet on every single one of Jacob's Lock of the Week this year, you'd be up 22.7 units. But if you hopped in when he was on his 10-pick win streak and you hopped in week 9 thinking that streak was going to last for a million years, yeah, you dumbass. You're not
Stupid
up.
fuck.
That's just not how that works. Lots of dumb people. Also, I'm just being playful. We're not shitting on you guys.
No, but
Thanks
I
for the
actually
comment.
hate everyone. Yeah.
No, and in all seriousness, no, we're just in good
seriously, I
fun.
hate
We appreciate the comments.
Seriously, don't ever comment again.
$8,400 to $7,800. I like $8,400 here. I think Phil Hawes is worth that money. I think there's takedowns, control time. I think he touches him a whole bunch. I think he's worth that money.
I think it's pretty good value. I honestly think it's pretty good value. Obviously, like I said, there's always that. So I don't want anyone coming back and being like, when Roman finds either a weird submission or finds that Hail Mary, being like, oh, I told you so. It's like, no, I told you so. I said that he has a Hail Mary chance, but Phil Hawes should control the fight. The only thing that would surprise me is if Roman comes in, takes him down, and just controls him for 15 minutes. I think that would surprise both of us. Or just like is winning every single striking exchange. But other than that, Phil Hawes, baby. Yep.
No, I completely agree. So I think there's solid value there at $8,400. Monkey Knife Fight strike line 64 to 48. It's probably a more because I do think there's a lot of standing. If there's some takedowns, it'll be on the Phil Hawes side, and I think he just peppers him. I think just nice tight high guard touch, just touches him up, peppers him. Roman's gonna throw big punches, try to make things happen. He's not a quitter. So 48's a little high, but
I don't think people respect how good Phil Hawes is. That guy is legit good.
They watch him get knocked out.
For a wrestler,
like, oh,
for a wrestler to come in and have the striking that he has, and he cleaned up his cardio as well. This guy's a legit man.
Yep. No, dude, go watch the Chris Curtis fight, knowing full well Phil Hawes gets knocked out. Go watch the Chris Curtis fight, and you'll literally be like, this guy's the one who loses? That's weird. And then it happens. But anyway, we're both on that side. WeWantPicks.com. You can go to the bet section, sign up with any one of our betting partners. We'll send you $50 as long as you use our link and make a deposit. You can become a premium member, get access to all of our bets, all of our picks, the DraftKings optimizer, the prop blinds, everything else. Or you can go to WeWantPicks.com/MKF, sign up with Monkey Knife Fight, play some of these strike lines. I do like the more here. And I do think this week, Monkey Knife Fight's probably got some solid value because I think we've agreed on some of these lines more than usual.